morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this morning I'm just going to take a wee wander around a local forest because it's really misty. So I'm going to see what type of images I can capture in the mist within the woodland. So join me and let's see where this journey takes us. Made it into the forest, and a big thanks to Nick who chummed me halfway along the walk up the farm drive. It was really nice to meet him, so here's a shout out to Nick and his beautiful golden Labrador. She's an absolute cracker. Right, so I'm walking through the forest and I've just spotted quite a nice wee composition here. So let me put my tripod down and I'll walk over and I'll show you what I've spotted. So this tree here, we've got a hole here in the trunk, and then we've got that kind of beech branch sticking out the tree. But if I stand back, I don't know if it's just me, but I think there's a face. So we've got one eye, two eye, and a big droopy mouth. So what I'll do is, I'll take a shot here, and if I can do it any justice, I'll share that image with you now. As I've been walking along the path, I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm soaking up all the birds' sounds. It's actually really therapeutic, to be honest. There's a composition there. We've got the path that's a leading line to that tree. Now the tree is not particularly interesting. If you're looking for, watch this, there's a hare going by. Oh, there was a hare just moved. Anyway, as I'm talking, it might walk past. This tree is really interesting because it's all gnarly. However, what I really like is the path as a leading line to that centre tree. So a wee trick is put your camera low. You don't always have to use your tripod, and what I'm trying to do is I'll talk you through what I've got here. What we've got here is you've got all this foreground that's all blurred out because the camera is really low. I've set my aperture to f5.6. I've got a fifth of a second shutter speed and I've got ISO 100, but what I'm trying to do is get that tree right in the centre of my image, and then what I can do based on the settings that I get, I've got a blurred out foreground because I'm at aperture f5.6, and then that allows me to create a vignette, and then we'll have that leading line, but that single tree in the centre of the image will stand out more. So I'll take this shot and let's see how that turns out. So I hope you liked that. If you do, please drop a comment in below and let me know if you liked it or not, and if you like that effect, because you don't always need Photoshop to give you blurry surroundings. You can create it yourself. Right, I'm just going to keep what I'm looking for this morning is, it was meant to be really misty, but it's quite clear where I am. But if I walk deeper into the woods, I might get that mist effect, and I'm looking for something unusual. Like features of the trees or patterns, and when I find some, I'll catch up soon. Well, I can see I'm not going to get very far today. Look at this. So I've just been walking along a trail and we've got these three trees, but what I'm looking for is the textures at the base of each of the trees. I'll take a shot where, as you can see, my tripod is really low, and I'll take a shot with the tripod being low, and I'll use that centre tree as a focal point. Then what I'll do is a photo stack, and I'll focus on that tree, focus on that tree, and then I'll focus on that tree. I'm using f5.6 because I want the background to be soft as much as possible. I'll merge them together and then I'll share that photo stacked image with you. Then what I'll do is similar to the last shot, I'll put the camera on the ground and I'll see if I can use that and see if we can get that kind of blurred out foreground effect. Now, the other thing, I've been looking at the debris on the ground. So there's a log here, but look at that, it's got like bark texture, and I thought if I put the camera on the base, I could use the bark texture as a potential frame. So I'll put that down and I'll give it a try. There's also a couple of logs lying around that they're not quite arched enough, because what I thought I could do is put the camera under the log and then use that as a frame. So what I'll do is I'll take my time, and if any of these images turn out, I'll share those images with you now. So I've lowered the tripod because I kind of want that kind of pathway towards it. I've got a 25th of a second f8 and my ISO's up at 1600. What I don't want is a really long shutter speed, because we're getting a wee breeze and I don't want the leaves to be out of focus. But what I am doing is I'm just going to do a 2-shot image here where I can stitch the two together and get a tall panel. And if that tall panel works out, I'll share that with you now. The other thing I'm going to try and do, like I did earlier, is lower the camera on the leaves and see what difference in perspective we get with a really low down shot, and can we diffuse that foreground so it helps frame the gate and the trees in the background. I'll give that a try and I'll share those images with you now. Things growing wild in the forest, so I'm just going to follow this trail and see where this trail leads me. There was a trail that I passed that I've never been before, so if this doesn't lead to anything, I can always go back. Right, I'll catch up when I find the next composition. I was walking along and I've just spotted quite a few tracks. So if you look there, there's obviously been a few deer come this way, but there's also, I think it's a rhododendron bush. Which, see this? It's really, really pretty. To be fair, it's not going to make a nice image because there's no sun, the sky's too bright. But I'll keep walking and let's see what else we find. Right, I just seen something move in between those trees there, so I'll keep the camera on and we'll walk up just in case something jumps out. Could be a deer or a rabbit. It looked like long legs right enough, so probably a deer. I have to admit the hairs on my back have went up a wee bit. A lot of bird noises. I swore I seen movement in there. Just keep walking. Must have been my imagination. It spooked me though. I didn't get spooked, but that spooked me. Right, I'm into a clearing. So let's see what we can see over here. Still looking back. Nope, keep the camera on for a wee minute. You're my company. It'd be cool if a big deer jumped out of it. Oh wow, this landscape's changed so much. It's all Christmas trees and fir trees. Obviously they're getting farmed. Right, I'm going to walk over that direction and I'll catch you back soon. Right, I'll show you where I've walked. I've just come through this pass. There's a wee bit of woodland here, but this is all the trees have been cut down. This is where we used to walk during lockdown because it was safe, because there was no one around. This all used to be huge trees and there's nothing here. That's a real shame actually. Right, what I'll do is I'll walk to the edge here and see, because I know there's a little river, but I'm trying to, if I look at all the footprints, there's obviously loads of deer using this as a thoroughway. But I'll walk to the edge and I'll see if there's anything that's nice to photograph, and if I can follow the river down, that might help. We might get some nice photos there. So we'll catch back soon. Well, I'll keep walking along that trail. I just came at a dead end. So I've come back to the path that I said that if I get nowhere I'll come down, and I have. And look at that, I'm right above the burn. It's actually quite pretty. So like I mentioned earlier, I haven't been down this path before. So I'll venture into this wooded area and let's see if there's any photographic opportunities here. Right, I've got a choice. I'm going to go down that way anyway just to explore what's there. But as I was walking past, there's this whole scattering of trees, but it was the pink flora that caught my attention. But when I look closer, there's a buzzard screeching above my head here. Can you hear it? There you are. That fungus on that branch. So it's pretty chaotic scene, to be honest. But there might be some areas that I could use for compositions. I maybe place the camera down handheld in some of these branches and use them as leading lines, and then get the tripod closer to the fungi, because the moss on the trees look pretty nice. Right, I'll take a couple of shots, see if any of these are worth it, and if they work out, I'll share them with you now. That was quite a cool spot. Hope you enjoyed those images. They were, well, I'm saying hope you enjoyed them. I hope they turned out so you could see them. Right, I've just come down. I can hear the river. Pretty soggy underfoot. I can hear the lambs as well. So it must be close to some fields. But there's a stream down here and I've seen a bridge. It looks kind of precarious right enough, but it's a bridge. So what I might do is I'll do a wee scout about, and if there's anything of interest, I'll share that with you. I'll just walk through the woods, but as I go further up the burn, if I turn the camera around, as you'll see, there's a huge amount of trees have been cleared for this area. It's a real shame, but there's a wee cascade of water. And I can't pass up a wee waterfall. So if I turn the camera around, there's a wee cascade there. So, and there's one further down. So what I'll do is I'll get it set up, and you never know, these could turn out quite nice. Right, so I've just put a couple of legs in the water. I've not got my wellies on, so I can't stand in it. But I have a really nice composition in front of me because the canopy, the trees, has given me a nice green diffusion. So up the top here, we've got this green diffusion. The burn's coming all the way down. We've got this wee cascade of water, and then it's sweeping out through the right-hand side of my screen. So I'm having to compensate with the light here, so I'm using 1/8 of a second shutter speed, and I've got f11 and ISO 100 because I need to darken it down, so that's why I've increased my f-stop to f11. And what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 different shots here. I might go low, I'll look for different areas of compositions. I'll try a few more low shots like I did earlier and see how that works out using the rocks as a base. And can the rocks be used as a frame in diffusion? I don't know, we'll try it. And if any of these images turn out, I'll share them with you now. Right, so as I was just coming up for the burn, I noticed this dead, well, it's not dead actually, it's alive because there's leaves coming out of it. It's a branch, but it's got a kind of circular shape. And if I just show you what I spotted was, use this as a kind of frame, and then there's 2 twigs or branches through the middle there. And I thought, well, that might make quite a nice composition. So what I'll do is, I'll take a couple of shots, I'll change the f-stop, so I'll do an f4 and give it a depth of field. I'll do an f2.8 just to see if that makes a difference, and then I'll do an f8 or an f11, and then that'll bring everything into focus. So when I've finished, I'll share these images with you now. Right, so I've made my way back to this old bridge. Right, I think I'll end the video here because I'll need to find my way home. That buzzard keeps going, I think he thinks I'm his dinner. So, I'll finish the video. Here's hoping the images have turned out. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and here's to the next video.